Shohei Ohtani's second start of the season in a 13-7 win over the Nationals on Sunday went another inning, just like he did last time around. Actually, less pitches, usually trying to build up the pitch count, but they didn't want him to go 2 innings. So he went 28 pitches in game 1, and in start 2 now of the season, he went 18 pitches and picked up his first couple strikeouts of the year, 1 shutout frame in the first inning for the Dodgers, got around a Mookie Betts error, and Cam, the starting pitcher, ended up with a triple, a homer, and 5 RBIs in the win.
Yeah, he's going to be just fine. My only concern is that, him hitting leadoff, if you have those long innings, he did look a little gassed to me in those first at-bats in both outings. So we all know he's AI. We all know he's not human, so he'll be just fine. I don't worry about it at all. And again, like most baseball players, like AJ said, we all hit a little bit of a wall. His wall, usually he just breaks it down a little bit sooner than most of us. But he'll be just fine. And it's good to see him back out there. The stuff looked elite. It looked electric, especially in that last outing against the Nationals. And I think it's just all about him getting back in the zone. I think he'll be just fine.
I just want to know why they didn't let him go back out there for a second inning. That's my question. If they're trying to build him up, if he threw more pitches in his first outing, why are they only having him throw 1 inning in his second outing? Why not let him go back out there? If he's going to long-term going to be a guy you're counting on, wouldn't you want to send him back out there at least for a couple pitches just so he gets used to getting up and down? Unless he's just going to be a 1 inning guy.
But that's my concern, AJ. I think he looks gassed. I think he looked gassed. And as I'm with you, I thought the same thing. And it's like, this is Shohei Ohtani. This is your franchise guy. And I just think his bat looked a little slow in those first at-bats. I know the adrenaline is pumping like crazy as you go out and start, especially in Dodger Stadium. The crowd's behind you no matter who you're facing. I just think it was more so, he looked gassed. Let's get him out of there. But I think they're still going to try to eventually get to that point. But again, this lineup, they got a Max Muncy. It was Max Muncy day yesterday. Get on that guy's back. They have so many ways to beat you that they don't have to rush him back even in trying to stretch him out, I feel like. So I think it was just more of them reading the room. And I think that's why I think David Roberts even went on wax to say, like, we might need to think about moving him down the lineup on his start day so he's not so gassed.
I've got a quote for you. Yeah, Dave Roberts said post-game, I think we're always going to be cautious, so I don't even know what that's going to look like to be fully built up. I don't think anyone knows what that looks like because it's not a normal starting pitcher. To say 6 innings and 90 pitches, I don't even know if we'll get to that point. Now, in fairness, it sounded like he wasn't coming back until later in July, and here he is now. I think part of this quote to me, Cam, is about the fact that it's whatever Shohei wants to do. If Shohei in September is like, I'm going 90 plus in 6 innings because I feel good, then they're not going to stop him. I think they just don't really have much intel because it's more about, hey, Shohei, how you feeling? We had Joe Madden on the show last week, and that's essentially what he told us. After they got through the Shohei rules that they created, and he said, I'm going to take over, they basically would just talk to him and be like, what do you want to do? And then he would tell them.
Yeah, and I think you have even more room to do that when you're coming off a World Series championship and he didn't throw 1 inning. So I think you have the luxury when you talk about other guys who possibly could be back later on. There's no reason to rush him out there. Again, check on him. How do you feel? I'm a little gassed. I'm a little winded. And it seems like one thing he's really good at doing is being honest with himself and the team. So I think that's also his superpower, guys being honest about how they feel, especially this guy. So I think it's the smart way to go about it. And I think the track record of them winning a World Series last year with him not throwing an inning makes it even more easy for them to go, hey, let's just take this as slow as we need to.
Let's talk Sunday. Let's talk what happened on Sunday with Shohei Ohtani. His second ever start with the Dodgers, back on the mound. He's still ramping up, right? So again, I wasn't expecting 3 or 4 innings. I was expecting maybe 2 innings. Well, we're not there yet. Shohei Ohtani threw 18 pitches, 1 inning, 0 hits, 2 strikeouts, 0 walks. I am telling you, this man looks back. Not back to where he needs to be built up wise, but back stuff wise. He homered in the game. He tripled in the game. It's the first Dodgers game for Shohei Ohtani where he does what Shohei Ohtani does best. Homered in the game and started on the mound. Didn't give up a run. Drove in 5 runs. It's the second time Shohei Ohtani has had at least a homer and a triple in a game that he has started on the mound. Okay? Homered, tripled, started on the mound. He's the only player with multiple games like that in at least the last 125 seasons. 125 seasons. He's the only player to ever do that. He's now up to 26 homers on the year. Hopefully he reaches 30 before the All-Star game, but most home runs before the All-Star game amongst players to start at least one game on the mound. 2021 Shohei, who had 33. 2023 Shohei. This year Shohei. It's June 23rd. Shohei has 26 homers. 2022 Shohei Ohtani. 2018 Shohei Ohtani. And then 2001 Mike Hampton had 6. The top 5 are all Shohei Ohtani for players to start on the mound, but most home runs before the All-Star break. I mean, this year offensively, last week plus, he hasn't been on fire at the plate, but obviously a great game on Sunday. I do think it kind of rejuvenates him being back on the mound. Most home runs out of the leadoff spot in a team's first 79 games. Shohei Ohtani now at 26 this year. And that ties Brady Anderson in 1996 with 26 as well. So what he is doing now is just back to what I always say. I think he's the greatest player of all time. And I don't say that because, look, let's compare his offensive numbers to Aaron Judge's numbers, and how can you say Shohei is better? I constantly get frustrated with people that aren't understanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying compare their two numbers and Shohei Ohtani is the greatest of all time, and then there's Aaron Judge. No, I can acknowledge that Aaron Judge offensively is better offensively than Shohei Ohtani. But what we're missing is that when Shohei Ohtani is healthy and pitching, and I know that's a big win because he hasn't been healthy for the last couple of years. But when healthy and when on the mound, this isn't just some gimmick. Shohei Ohtani has a career 3.02 ERA, a career .2001 batting average against, and a career record on the mound of 38-19. I don't need to tell you guys this, but all of that comes with the Los Angeles Angels, who weren't a good baseball team. But a career 3.02 ERA. In 2023, he came in third in the American League Cy Young voting. This is one of the best pitchers in the game. And in the words of John Smoltz, literally just last week, if he were just a pitcher, if he were just focusing on pitching, he would be one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Now, I believe he already is one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, but coming from John Smoltz, that is very, very high praise. Now, look, I'm not saying he's back. I'm not saying like on the mound. I need to see it for 5 or 6 innings, right? We're not there yet. So how can I say? But what I can see is that his stuff is still there. And when it comes to guys coming back from a second arm surgery, often the stuff isn't there. So far, with Spencer Strider returning from his second, the first few starts, stuff wasn't there. Stuff appears to be coming back, but it takes some time. With Shohei, I think we're starting from a point where the stuff is there. He's throwing 100. His sweeper looks really good. But I still need to see it when he ramps back up to 5, 6 innings to be able to say, okay, guys, look, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball too. I can't yet say that because he's basically coming in and throwing 1 inning and 18 pitches, and maybe I don't think he's letting it all air out, but I can't. Look, you get what I'm saying. He's not back yet to the pitcher that I think he will be. But he's back to creating history every single time he takes the field. Again, on Sunday, he did that. Players since 1901. Now, that's basically 125 years ago. Players since 1901 to homer and triple in the same game have multiple strikeouts and 0 runs allowed, all in the same game. Shohei Ohtani, who did it on Sunday, and Johnny Clipstein, who did it in 1952. That's it. That's the entire list. And that is what Shohei did on Sunday.
The kick, the pitch. Swinging a hard ground ball, fair down the first baseline. In to score is Kim. Conforto right behind him. Here comes Dalton rushing. Around second and on his way to third with a bases-clearing triple is Shohei Ohtani. And the Dodgers lead it 7-3.
Here's a random stat. Shohei Ohtani has 10 career games with both a triple and a home run. Among active players, only one player has more career games with a home run and a triple. I'll buy your lunch if you can guess this player. Active player. No hints, nothing. Marvin, you got anybody?
Jazz Chisholm.
Paul?
Mike Trout.
I got to buy you lunch. Mike Trout has 14 games. I don't know if you're getting the support you should with a great poll like that.
This is my first thought, but I was like, that it has to be Trout. So the way you teased it, I thought it has to be someone deep cut.
AM 570 LA Sports Dodgers Radio Network. That is your play of the day. Play of the day brought to you by the great folks at Rapid Radios, the official walkie-talkie of the DP show. Push to talk nationwide LTE network. No subscriptions required. Business owners, stay connected with your employees anywhere.